It's Monday. It's Monday.
Yes.
Great day for somebody, some people. A horrible day for others. But guess what? Just like any other day, it ends. But it's not going to end until we say so. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to hashtag Fade to Black. I am your host, Don Alamonte Morris, here with my dog, my bruh, Beast Johnson. How you doing, dog?
Doing good today, man. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing just great. So we're gonna continue on what we was talking about before the show started. If I said this right, I know I've been saying it. I've been saying HEMS. It's HAPS. HAPS is this, another streaming service that I found. I introduced to everybody on the panel, and I was experimenting with it. Beast on the head. This guy over here, ladies and gentlemen, been jumping it on. So if you've been going on Fade to Black and you've been seeing Base and Bake. He's on that site. Now, Facebook obviously been giving us notifications that it's copywritten and all that stuff. But if you don't want to go through all the hassles with that, go to Beast Helps and you will be able to watch it with no problem, no issues, none whatsoever. And also, I do my show on there as well. But also, I want to do an announcement too as well. Not an announcement, but if you like what you hear on this show from either one of us, or have a special request that you want us to do, our cash apps are next to our nameplates. As I'm putting that mine right here. Right here. Our cash app with mine is Alamonte 31. Beast Johnson is the Savage Soul. So if you love what we're talking about, or have a special request that you only want us to do, and it can't be anything crazy, could be singing happy birthday, or a topic that you want us to give our insights on, just give $1. Just give whatever you feel. Don't give us your life savings, because right now people are struggling out here and all that stuff. So we don't want you to do that. But $1 goes a long way. But if you want to give $100, that's great too. But yeah. So if y'all love Base and Bake, because even after this show, I know Beast already got a session already lined up, ready in the wings. Already. So let's go ahead and just jump into our opening statements. And Beast, you, my man, will have first dibs. Ladies and gentlemen, opening statements presented by Cheddar Boy Popcorn.
Well, first off, I want to give an unofficial shout out to Game Cigarillos for bringing back the proof of purchase sweepstakes. Y'all remember back in the 90s, all you cigarette smokers used to smoke Winston's and your Marlboros so you can get that goddamn leather jacket, get that damn baseball cap. Well, it's a little more functional for me. Buy cigars, get a shot glass. Now, with that being said, I want to speak on this whole Paul and Woodley fight, and how fucking disappointed I am in the box. You money hungry parasite pieces of shit. So fucking cash strapped that you're willing to pay people or incentivize people to throw fights in the hopes of we're going to make this a best of 3. And I know I ain't the only person to feel that way after they watched that piece of shit ass fight, because Woodley should have won. Should have been no split. Let's leave it here there. What I do notice is that it brings up a very prevalent thing that's done amongst boxing. You got to set up these fights for at least 2. So you're kind of putting one of the boxers in the mindset of, I can get pretty much throwing the fight, because they can work hard if they want to. But if they've already agreed that no matter who wins and loses this first one, y'all gonna have a rematch, Or y'all gonna have two more to see who's the best of. It incentivizes you to kind of throw that first fight because you know you can make more money off the second and third. Well, maybe that's just conspiracy theorists in me. I don't know. Just want to get it out of my head today. So with that being said, I yield the floor. Daniel, what you got to talk about?
Well. I'm happy that you asked. First of all, let me hopefully I get everything right. So back here, y'all probably know what this United States flag. And I'm happy to say that this long, stupid war is finally over. The flag came down in Kabul. The last troops have left or in the process of leaving. A lot of people has been going at this administration about the casualties and all the craziness that's been going on. As a service member myself, my heart and my thoughts. I'm not going to say prayers because prayers don't do anything. I don't care what anybody says. Prayers don't bring people back. My hearts and blessings goes out to the families, to the 13 service members that we lost. But for everybody that is going at this current administration, stop. Just stop. Just because this war is over, just because we say the war is over, it doesn't mean that they believe that the war is over. You can bow down gracefully, and you can still get sucker punched. It is still risky over there in Afghanistan. Doesn't matter who's in office. What Mike Tyson always says, everybody got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. But this one, at least we know what was expected, the risk levels that was involved. But the simple fact, but the biggest part about this whole entire thing is that none of my battle buddies, no other service member, no other Marine, no other navalman, no other airman, no other soldier is going to be deployed. And that should make everybody sleep a little better tonight. No more wars that's costing American people billions and trillions of dollars. No more lives being lost or soldiers coming back with PTSD or loss of limb. Because I didn't believe it until I went to Iraq. That you're not the same person when you come back. Which lead me to this. Mainly when I talk to my conscious people, I'm going to talk to my brothers and sisters that think that this country pisses and shits on them and all that stuff. I know at times I do say that this country don't give a damn about us. But then I had to really think deeply about it. I really have to really think about it. Is it the country or the people that created the society that we live in that makes it seem that this country don't love us? Think about it. Just think about it. All the systemic racism that's been going on in this country. And we say that the government don't give a damn about us, which is true. But we always have a way of overcoming. We have to know that the same way the elites have taken over government, you think they're going to be there forever? We should gather up the strength to take over, to groom our young men and women, to get people that's already doing the work in the communities in position of power. Now, in the Constitution, you can burn a United States flag in the sign of protest in accordance with the First Amendment. But why burn a flag that no matter what still says it still loves you, still represents you, still represent the freedoms that you believe? The country never said they didn't love you. It's the people that's in power that's upholding all these bigotry, white supremacist mindsets and thoughts. Why take it out on the flag where your ancestors served? Where they proudly put a United States flag outside of their homes. Like when we talk about the Black Wall Street, nobody don't want to talk about the reason why the Black Wall Street was so profitable and so organized was because of veterans. Because those veterans knew that the United States, this country, and what it means to be an American, an African American at that it wasn't the country that turned their backs on. It was the people that privileged off this country that's in the position of power to make it seem that the country don't love you. Do y'all remember when, the red-headed stepchild? Y'all know y'all heard that little saying, you treat me like the red-headed stepchild. But let's say that the stepmom loved that red-headed stepchild, loved her to death. But it was the other kids, her real kids, no matter if it's two brothers, two sisters, or a brother and a sister, that made it seem like the family didn't want them. And every time when mom comes over there, say what's going on, either the kids blame it on the red-headed stepchild, or the red-headed stepchild be like, nothing's happening, nothing's going on. But eventually, when that stepchild gets older and start fighting for him or herself, even though I described it as daughter, but y'all understand what I'm saying. When they grow up, have a voice for themselves, and start fighting back, and then finally telling the mom why I feel this way toward them, because they put me through this. It's all on you. It's all on us. I love this flag. I defend this flag. Now, a lot of y'all gonna sit there and say, well, we got the African, flag. Yeah, I understand that flag. I can get behind that flag. But I love this flag just as much. Because when I look at this flag, I see what America should be. And that I can do something to change that rather than sitting down and complaining and burning this flag. Because if we want to actually respect the spirit of our ancestors, understand majority of our ancestors fought in some form of war for this flag. So if you're going to sit there and spit on everybody that served and burn this flag, remember, You're spitting on the spirit of the ancestors because they served and defended this country through the racism. And even some of the white folks had to understand during that time that they had to respect them because sometimes there were black troops that actually had to save them. And that in World War II, remember the Tuskegee Airmen? But there was also a logistics unit in World War II that actually kept this war going. And without that unit, who knows how World War II would end. But hopefully I ain't gone too long on this. But I just want to say this. My heart and my blessing goes out to those 13 service members that lost their lives. Goes out to their families. Thank y'all for your service. And your service will never, ever go in vain. Stop blaming this current administration. Because all we know, this war could have lasted another 20 years. And then for my people, understand that this country can be what we want it to be, but we got to put in the work. And putting the work is not going on YouTube and saying how conspiracy theories of the government not loving us and all that stuff, knowing that we can elect people to put up in position of power to turn our issues into agendas. And don't blame it on this flag. Because our ancestors, they all wasn't slaves coming from a ship. They were also those that put on uniforms, carried rifles, or nowadays M16s and M4s, and served this country and built this country and built those Black Wall Streets, or I like to call them chocolate cities. With that, we'll be right back to talk about the topics, top stories that happened over the weekend. We will be right back. All right. I still got the United States flag. I don't know why I still got back there, but let's get into it. Peace. So let's get it started. Let's get it started. So one of our stories was going to be talking about the Woodley Paul fight. So you gave your take. So my take was, because I commentated on the fight, I had a watch party. I didn't actually show the fight, unfortunately, but I was happy for the people that stayed and tuned in and listened to my commentary. I thank y'all. My take on the fight was, like, the first 4 rounds, it was all Paul. Because people got to understand, Woodley is an MMA fighter. He's not a boxer. So one thing people have to understand, that when you're an MMA fighter, not even just that, when you're going into a different lane, it takes time for you to get used to it, if that makes sense. So if you know for driving, if you drive a Mustang and now you driving, I can't even believe I'm about to say this, about to get you buy a Silverado, it's gonna be a lot to get used to, because you coming from a Mustang, not to mention it's a different make, but it's a car. Now you getting into a truck, a Silverado that's a Chevy. Now you got all these functions, 4x4. You got the towing assistance and all that stuff with it. So it's a whole different piece, a whole different monster, and not to mention you got a bed in the back. So it's a whole different beast. So it's something you just got to get used to, and not to mention the turning radius is a lot different. You got to be more careful when you back up now and all that stuff. So it's a lot of things that goes with it. So that's Woodley going into from the MMA world to the boxing world. There was many opportunities that Woodley should have taken, but he didn't. Even though I believe he won the rest of the rounds. And I think one of the judges was high as fuck, but for some reason, I smell home cooking because the fight was actually in Jake Paul's backyard of Cleveland. So I was like, I even mentioned it in the show. Anybody can go back to it. When I said, if this fight, if Tyron Woodley do not knock this kid out, he's going to lose. Because the only way that Jake Paul was going to win is either by the cards or he knocks out Woodley, which was never going to fucking happen. I think anybody who was a betting man or woman on that fight was not betting that this dude was going to knock him out. That is you wasting your money. you wasting your bet. You might as well just give the booker, if you got a booker, or if you bet in Las Vegas, you might as well just give him the money for free. Like, here you go. And don't say nothing. Because if you was betting that he was going to knock out Woodley, you basically just give the money to the booker. You give him the money to the house.
Yeah,
so
you dumb fuck you did that.
Yeah, you stupid as hell. So I rate the fight 7.5, 7.5. The reason why the fight, this is me, this is my assessment. I thought the fight was entertaining. But it's not one of those fights where you can remember like Mayweather and Pacquiao. Right. You can't remember, if you ask me where was I and Mayweather and Pacquiao, I could tell you I was over my ex battle buddy's friend's house. I was over her house watching it, and I was the only even though my boy Nate, he was kind of in between, but I was the only Mayweather fan in the house. I can remember when I was for that fight,
You remember where you at, or you remember the fight itself, or you remember a combination of both.
Nobody's going to remember the fight like this. It's going to be one of those, I kind of remember, or they can remember it
like, oh yeah, that did happen.
Right. And that's why I was explaining to people, like, at the end, it's like, it's not going to be that fight where, oh, I remember that. It's going to be more like, huh? Did that happen? And you got to look it up. And you'd be like, oh, it did happen.
Oh, shit, it did happen.
Right. And so, right. This fight is not going to be right there with Pacquiao and freaking Mayweather. It's not even going to be there for, like, a Hagler.
It ain't even there for Mayweather and McGregor.
No, it's not even going to be there. And that fight,
because that's the first of this whole bullshit ass entertainment that we see right now.
Right. And so now, remember on the show last time, I did say I never would knock any guy's or woman's hustle. If you make your money, you make your money. But this was a gimmick fight, and that's one of the biggest reasons why I gave it a 7.5. It's a gimmick fight. These were two guys that were not boxers. You had one that was from the entertainment world, social media, and then you got one that came from the MMA world. Nobody was a boxer. So it's a gimmick fight. And
can I add on a little bit more? When he's saying they weren't boxers, the thing about fight science and the fighting arts, most people nowadays lean more towards MMA because it's the most comparable to a real life situation. Real life situation, if you're given the opportunity, you're gonna knee a motherfucker or you're gonna kick him. You damn sure gonna throw an elbow if you're too close to put all your power in your fist.
Right.
So MMA, that's more relatable to the average mind. But just in general, when you're talking about different forms of fighting, they come with different caveats. And like, I understand what Donnell's coming from. Like, I grew up taking Japanese karate. Then from there, started doing other forms of martial arts, Chinese, other forms of Japanese, and I started wrestling. Did boxing as well, but it's a completely different mind frame when you've been learning your whole life to use your center of gravity, use your legs, aim for joints and shit like that. Now you're being told you can only use your hands. Well, I know 5,000 different attacks, and over 4,000 of them are with my legs. Now you're telling me I can't use my legs? Okay. You got to reevaluate, reacclimate the brain, because you get yourself in similar situations, like moments when you like he should have took it. That's because his brain and his instinct training up to that point had told him, kick him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, can't kick him. Or elbow, can't elbow, shit. It's like you get in the clinch. I can throw some body blows, but I can't elbow you across your forehead. Yeah. Oh, that's the only reason I love the clinch. Mm-hmm. Oh! All right, fuck. So it's a different mindset that you have to put yourself in that moment. And it has to remain constant because your body is trained to automatically do certain moves and certain forms in that type of situation. Mm-hmm. I automatically know for me, if somebody grabbed me by my waist and tried to earth me, my body is initially going to either go for a guillotine chokehold. If I can't get the chokehold, then I'm just going to attack your temples. Yeah. I'm going to gouge out one eye while I punch you in the temple with my knuckle. About 2 good shots of that, you're going to drop.
Mm-hmm. And then that good dreaded, that
elbow. Oh, no, just, now you got to come down with it. Like Ongbak. That's the Ongbak elbow. When you got to go all the way up, off that motherfucker, and come down like a Power Ranger doing a pose.
Mm. And the thing is, crazy thing, I seen that happen. Like over here, like you could tell somebody is like, for me, I'm combative level 2, yeah, and trained combative level 2, and you can tell people like, hey, I ain't gonna fuck with him. Definitely not gonna fuck with him. Why is this dude over here fucking with him? He knows he's gonna clap, and that's all you saw, like clap right there. But yeah, I'm happy that you said that. I forgot that you well versed in karate and jiu-jitsu and all that stuff. I'm happy that you was great to explain that, because people like I was giving Woodley a lot of crap the whole entire fight. I was giving him a whole lot of crap because he was just standing in the middle. But then I think it was round 4 maybe where he gave freaking Paul a right hook, like straight to the freaking bone, knocked him into the ropes. And
that rope saved his ass.
Yes, the meme said it correctly, because he knocked his ass out, almost out the ring. And if he got knocked out the ring, that was an automatic disqualification.
The only thing to say, honestly, if you go back and look at it, the only thing that he literally put him on his ass, because the only thing that saved him from going out of the ring was the fact that when he hit his ass at an angle to where when little boy came down, his butt is what hit the fucking second rope, stopping him from actually going all the way out. If he hit him with a body blow like that, oh no, he'd have been tumbling the fuck over. He'd have been killed over. But that headshot,
but
that rope to the ass saved him.
Yeah, and the thing was, Woodley was throwing the lethal punches. And I said that this was going to haunt him because he's standing in the middle too much. He kept walking him down. There was no point in the fight that Jake Paul was walking Woodley down. Not at all.
Not.
Woodley was he controlled the fight. But what really kept Jake Paul for me, the first 4 rounds that he was winning was he kept throwing jabs. That's all he was doing. He kept busy. As MMA would say, he kept busy.
Look, it's even in MMA. Why is the jab so important? Keep away.
Mm-hmm. And that's what he was doing the whole fight.
Especially in MMA, like I said, wrestlers that turn into strikers, they got this mentality that because you already learn how to shoot in on somebody, how to cut the distance, drop your weight, get low. You can ask them duck up under a body blow angled shot, like a motherfucker trying to hit me in my chest. I drop down with a double leg. I can literally get my head up under that punch, get where I need to go, or just drop down, just cut the distance, scare him. So, like I said, going from that type of mentality where I could easily just fake a shoot, get them off their balance. I can't do that in boxing. I keep going forward, but like I said, even in MMA, on the opposite goes. If they want to come forward, jab them in the face. They want to shoot low, jab them in the head.
Right, and people don't understand.
They want to come at angle, jab his ass. Jab his ass. Jab.
Jab is to set up the punch. People don't understand it because when you jabbing, look, pretend that this camera's your face, and I'm jabbing. If I'm jabbing, you don't see what's coming.
You just reminded me of.
Boom, right there.
No,
what's that?
You know what you just reminded me of?
What's
when
that?
You talk about moments in boxing.
What's that?
And you talk about the power of the jab.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't but two boxers that's credited publicly for having knocking out Mike Tyson. Buster Douglas did it because his mama died.
Mm-hmm.
And fucking Lennox Lewis did it at the tail end of his career. And what did he do it with, people? In the 4th? Jab. Hit him with the yap cross, yap straight, yap.
Majority
of his ass in the yap. No, not the majority. Not majority. The whole, all 4 rounds, he just kept jab. And eventually he called a yap 2-piece. Tyson went down.
Yep. And the crazy thing is, it also depending on your size. So, like, taller fighters, like 6 like foot and over, they would just hold their fist right there. They just hold the fist right there. If the fighter is number 1 really hurt or 2 shorter than them, they just gonna put that right there. And what's one thing you're gonna do? And MMA fighters are famous for doing it. So MMA fighters gonna right there. Keep doing this, they keep doing definitely the Brazilians do this,
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, just like a cat to a ball, they're gonna go after it. That's the only thing they're gonna see. The next thing, pop or kick. And so that was what Jake Paul was doing, but he was doing it more of get away from me, keep away from me, stay away from me. That's boxing.
Back up now. Back up now.
Yeah, and that's what Jake Paul.
I don't want the problems. I don't want the problems.
and here's the sad thing. And I'm talking to all the Jake Paul people out there, the Jake Paul fans out there. He did not destroy Woodley. He didn't even come close to it. He didn't even get the deal destroyed.
Look.
Yeah. I mean,
straight face. Say this. I don't care for what the condition. Just say it with a straight face. No filter. One take. Go live. No recuts, no edits. Say it with a straight face. Say it with a straight face in the mirror 5 times like Candyman.
Which is out, by the way.
Not only is it out, it also made several $100 million, and it's the most money ever made by a Black female film director.
Black excellence. We
control the narrative.
We control the narrative. And not to mention, I was afraid of the freaking first movies, but it took me to get to this age to watch all three. So that tells you a lot. So I'm really expecting
you
a
only
lot
need
of this one.
you only need to watch the first one and this one.
Oh, okay. I'm taking your word for it.
No,
I saw the
I
first.
like because the two in the middle was like they cashed
Yeah,
out.
yeah, I got you.
But
Like,
that first one,
oh,
it's mainly because just to be off topic, but when we talk about Black excellence and really showcasing the Black narrative, I have more respect for that movie and Tony Todd,
oh
the
yeah,
actor that plays Candyman, because the original basis for the story is based off Clive Barker, white dude, great writer though, the British version of Stephen King, sick motherfucker. But it's based off one of his stories that has nothing to do with race at all. Like, aside from the fact that the character is an urban legend, demonic creature-like figure, and they have a hook, that's it.
Yeah.
Tony Todd added on that racial energy to go along and correlate with the story and the set, and build a true narrative and a true urban legend off of. And then you see the connecting end piece with the new version. I like it. Like me personally, somebody that's big on lore and mythology. I like the way they piece everything together, and I like the narrative that it's told, and I like how it expressed the truth of the Black psyche.
You know what? I cannot wait to see it my damn self. But let's go back on this fight. So just to put a cap on this show. Cap on the show. I mean cap on that show. So I knew that was going to be country, as they say, home cooked. I believe that whole time fight was home cooked. Woodley had to knock him out. Woodley had to knock him out. And when you make your assessment on the opening statements, I agree with you. I agree with you. Even though I get this fight 7.5, but then with that 7.5, I was at the realization that this was a gimmick fight. This is a fight that could have easily sold out Madison Square Garden if it was on a WrestleMania card, or if AEW would have put it in their belt. It will, even though AEW would have sold out by itself, WrestleMania was sold out by itself, but it will make them more money hand over fist. This is that overtime money. This is that money that, this is a bonus for everybody that was in on this project type money. It would have made AEW, WWE a whole hell of a lot of money because it was a gimmick.
But because this need to be done for boxing, because the American input and output of boxing has dwindled to very, very minuscule numbers. I don't care what race you are. If you're American, there's not a whole bunch of notable American. Mayweather's like the most notable American boxer right now.
Like you have to be like a real boxing enthusiast to know which boxers are currently fighting. Like, for me, I know Deontay Wilder.
I'm not even an enthusiast. I enjoy watching a good fight, and I enjoy a good fight. And I've always noticed that just over the years that the American, after the 90s,
the nostalgia's gone.
Into the 2000s, just the presence of American fighters in that top bill arena, it started to dwindle. You started to hear Klitschko's. Lennox was still doing his thing. Mm-hmm. Now we got Bird, Anthony Joshua, all the Latin names are an American.
Right.
Pacquiao is fucking Filipino.
And then you got the Brazilians. You got the Brazilians coming out nowhere too.
The Brazilians that took over MMA. Brazilians. MMA. It's funny. Just a little random racist moment, but every race, at one point, we will get to a point where every race has a predominant or is predominant within certain sports. Blacks, we pretty much cover the bases, but because everybody came from us, we take it all over. So I'm not gonna put us in the conversation, but NFL, NBA, that's us. Baseball, a lot of Haitians and Dominicans.
And
oh God, Cuban, Haitian, Dominican, them motherfuckers love some stick ball.
Yes, they do.
Love some stick ball. You white folk, not you Anglo-Saxons. Y'all really got us golf. The rest of y'all, you European whites, y'all love hockey. Y'all some tough some bitches when it comes to hockey. I love y'all for that. But Brazilians, the Brazilians are the Mexicans of MMA. Them some tough some bitches.
Yeah,
you got to punch them.
Look, I was getting ready to say, and for boxing, you have to give it to the Mexicans because they got like the fight before that. I still remember her name, Mercado. She was fighting Serrano, who was from she was from New York, but her heritage is Puerto Rican. Now, there's always been a rivalry between Puerto Rico and Mexico. They never liked each other. So there has always been a rivalry between them two. So that fight actually turned out to be pretty good. And so, but Mercado, when the rounds was coming to a head, I think it was like a four rounds, 3 rounds. I think it's 4-3, 1-2. Coming to the later rounds, Serrano was tearing her up. And she was taking some blows to the face, but Mercado, she just kept going. Even though you can see that she was like getting some spaghetti legs at the time, but she stood her ground. She was like, "Look, you have to, it's like you have to kill me. You have to kill me if you're gonna win this fight." I mean, you think about, boxing. You got to think about, like Oscar De La Hoya. You got to think about, I forgot his damn name. He was a
Ricky Hatton.
Ricky Hatton. You know what? I'm gonna say this.
Lamonte.
Look, Ricky. I'm gonna talk about Ricky Hatton. Ricky Hatton for a little bit.
Underrated.
Very underrated. But he's going to be known. He's going to be known for no mas.
Oh no, that's Durant.
Oh, Durant. I don't know what Durant. I don't know. Oh, sorry about that. But Ricky
Hatton was the underrated. He was like the great white hype for Mayweather. Because I ain't gonna lie.
Oh yeah, the brick. He was talking about that shit.
Swore up and down.
No, they just own the arena. You know what? I was just thinking about that. Thinking.
Yes, it's true. It's true.
That is true. I mean, I can't deny that. I mean, what's one of the that movie that Will Smith played? He played that one poor
Bag of
guy.
Bangs.
I remember he made one famous quote when he was interviewed. The actual guy, he said, he said, if you want to learn how to play a sport, you go to the court. If you want to own a team, you go to the library. I paraphrase what he said, which makes sense. If you want to be an athlete, you go into the gym, go to the court, you go to the field, you train. But if you want to own a team, you go to the library. And that is true. That is exactly true. But going back to what we was talking about, Ricky Hatton. I'd say Ricky Hatton sounds familiar. He was the one Brit that was talking all that mess, and Mayweather gave him. I think Mayweather gave him what that right hook. Right hook was so terrible. I
remember that fight because I wasn't a fan of Mayweather and his bravado. I was like, somebody just need to pop him in the mouth one good time. Like, I don't even care if the motherfucker win or not. Just pop him in the mouth one good time and give him them buckle knees. And the Ricky Hatton fight was one of the first fights I went to a strip club to watch it, and it was the funniest shit ever. Because it was funny as hell because no nigga, it was just a bunch of niggas in there watching the fight and random stripping going on, like with nobody paying attention to none of the women there. Like, this dude's literally sitting at the stage while you got two girls on the pole. They have their entire backs to them. They took the chairs, turned them bitches around, and looking at the bar toward the TV.
What?
But as soon as the knockout happened, and it was confirmed, like you just felt that wave of, okay, the fight's over. You know, like at a really good house party, and it's like, all right, it's time to go.
Yeah.
You just sense it. Everybody collectively said, we got shit to do.
Yeah.
Knockout happened. It was like, okay, it's a strip club again. Niggas went back, throwing money. Yeah, titties. Devil sorrows.
Okay, so there were no fights for people sitting there saying, hey, man, you bet me some money. You said that Mayweather was going to lose. It had to be a couple people of so many. You heard the smacking like money. Heard smacking money.
Even if that happened, I felt like because we was in a strip club, all that would have just got resolved with a whole bunch of lap dances and private dances. Like, how much I owe you? Right. Like, how much I owe you? Nigga, you owe me $200. Hey, girl, how much the more private dances? 20 plus 20 some. Hey, go back. Hey, take my man's back here for 9 songs. That should be right. Yeah. Yeah, him? Yeah. Like, where my money? It's with her. No sex in the champagne room. No sex in the champagne room.
Basically how it goes down. Basically how it goes down. But
I'm just guessing.
But see, here's the thing. We talking about fights that you remember where you was at. Nobody's not gonna do it with this fight. So going to the last part of the fight, Woodley said, let's run it back. And for some reason, in the middle of the fight, I had a notion of like, they should do a part 2 to this. We should do a part 2.
It was already stated briefly. It was one of those like throwaway lines. Like when you've been talking so much shit to each other back and forth, and then one of y'all say some real shit that need to get heard, but nobody pay attention to it. When they was having their little face-to-face and Willie was punking his ass, it got mentioned then about a rematch. And as soon as I heard it then, I was like, these motherfuckers. They pulling the Fury to their Wilder Fury. Well, what you mean? Before they even fought the first match, they had already set it up for a damn 3-peat. They purposely set up them two fighting to go best of 3. And then to stretch it out even longer, the loser would get another fight before the next fight. That's why Fury had that fight with old boy, and Wilder was like, nah, fuck that fight. Run me my rematch. Yeah. Because we got a best of 3. And I'm trying to go ahead and get this shit over with.
And the thing is, I agree with it because, you know, when somebody says, let's go ahead and run this back again, you know, it's kind of like testing your gangster. You know, you remember we used to play Street Fighter, and you know, you beat somebody like, man, we good. Like, no, man, run that back. But then you got to put yourself in that person's shoes because you remember when you was on the other end of an ass whooping, you like, no, man, hell no, I wasn't ready. Bring your ass back here.
Well, I'm just a natural born competitive person, so I'm only gonna really get that way if you made me put forth an effort.
Right.
Either you made me put forth an effort or you fucking embarrass me.
Right.
Usually effort. Like you had to, okay. No. We need to run now. Best of 3 because I like you. Yeah. Right. And run that. Funny story. I had that moment with Tim Duncan.
Oh, what?
Yeah. When Tim Duncan used to go to Wake Forest, this was like my 6th grade year. Mm-hmm. Took a little day trip to the mall or whatever. I didn't know who he was at that time. But for whatever, I guess they had a game or for some whatever reason, he was in Greensboro, happened to be at the mall. I'm playing Mortal Kombat. I'm getting it in. I'm having a good little moment because I'm winning. And I just see this tall, light-skinned, lanky nigga pop up and was like, yo, can I get next? I was like, all right, go ahead. ran it, got my dub, ran it back. He got his dub, ran that shit back again. I got my dub, pulled off a fucking fatality. I feel real happy about myself because I don't do fatalities on arcades. So I was like, I'm doing some shit. I was like, yes. I had to talk my shit because this nigga tall and lanky. He older than me. I know you get bitches right now. So I'm enjoying the fact that I'm a child and I just beat this tall ass nigga with grown man facial hair, who I later found out was Tim Dunphy. And I was like, hey, I beat that nigga ass in Mortal Kombat. Come on.
And now he's a Hall of Famer. Even though he played my rival, the Mavericks. So yeah. I give him a pass. But,
definitely respectful. That's definitely I can say. You met a celebrity? Yeah, I met him. Cool dude.
So, ladies and gentlemen, my take on I'm gonna give my take, and then we're gonna go and talk about Kanye West. So my take on this fight. Would I be watching the second fight? Yes, I will be. RAB say he's not, and I will be doing commentary on the Unrehearsed podcast. I will try to see if I can drag Beast to watch it with me. So, but
for that purpose, I will.
Yeah, because I want to. Because I want to hear like the craziness that he's going to say, and just for that fight, I'm definitely going to be tipsy for that one. So I know he's already smoking the herbs right now. So if he's going to be lit up, as one coworker would say, I'm going to be lit up my goddamn self on some layers, my damn self. So it's going to be entertaining.
You watching some buffoonery like that,
you got
especially on. You got to be fucked up to watch ignorant shit. Like,
yes.
One of my greatest guilty pleasures was watching Flavor of Love.
Oh.
And I had to have, I don't give a fuck. Me and my whole group would watch this shit every Sunday. And we both get some weed. If I ain't got it, she gonna get like, goddamn, we not watching this shit, so not happening. Why? So. You can't watch Flavor of Love sober as a black person. That shit would infuriate your ass. You gotta be high. You got to be.
You know what? I feel
just so you can enjoy the ignorance that it is.
Look, I feel offended now because I was watching it sober. I hate you. But other than that, so y'all heard it.
But deep down inside, you felt like your ancestors was just shaming you in the background.
Yeah. Yeah, not only just that, it was just thought like, who would go after this ugly motherfucker, man? It's like a piece of coal with the face and gold teeth. Sorry, Flavor Love. Sorry, Flavor.
I really, yeah. I a 25-year-old single mother of two with a breast size of 45 double D and a hip size of 24. Yes, who was recently in the Salt Shaker remix video. Yes, I want you, Flavor Flav. Just you. Make sure the camera is on my left side because that's my good side. Notice how notice how all them bitches got shown on their good side. Nobody ever got shown ugly unless they was just ugly.
And that's true. And look at how many of them it was a come up for them. Like all the reality shows. They are all delicious. Like everybody talking about Delicious, like she literally came from a reality show.
It's funny to see all the ones that ended up married niggas afterwards. Like,
yeah, Delicious. and also people don't understand that Carly B came from Love and Hip Hop New York. Hey, Charlamagne, let me holler at you real quick. Remember you kept complaining about reality shows and all that stuff? The same person, that same energy that you had against reality show people, you praising Carly B. Carly B came from Love and Hip Hop New York. And look at where she's at now. On top of the world. About to have two girls. Well, two girls now. I think one she already had the other one. And she's married to Offset. Yeah, she was pregnant again. Yeah, she just had her second child. Offset got two girls now. Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
So she got two girls. But
congratulations. Former stripper and date rapist. This is confirmed. She's drug niggas, so she's a date rapist. So former stripper, former date rapist. No allegedly came out of her own fucking mouth, so can't nobody sue me for defamation.
She had a video out about it.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta give her a little bit of respect just for simple fact. She got married before she had the kids. And in spite of everything, she worked it out with her husband and they're actually building a family. So tip of the hat and respect to Cardi and me and Offset.
In other words, she changed, ladies and gentlemen. People change.
No. They've matured.
Much better. Because we can't let our past define us. It's something that is a building. We either can use it as a building block or we're going to let it be like a fire and consume us. She did not allow her past to consume her, and look where she's at now. I'm just going to throw something out to Charmaine God. Just keep the same energy, dog, when you talk about reality show people. Because that same person that you talked to came from reality show, and you just sat with her and pretended like she just came through the industry like any other artist. Freaking Love and Hip Hop New York actually helped her to start a career, because Love and Hip Hop New York is basically based on DJs, upcoming artists, and has-beens. No offense, but
it is what it is.
Yeah, but other than that, we're going to take a commercial break and be right back. And Beast Johnson is going to break down the chaos that's going on with this Kanye album.
Yes,
a lot of people out the woodworks got a lot of things to say, but we're going to have Beast break that down for you when we come back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, one of my biggest rules I need to start applying to myself is never do a show not parch. Meaning, drink some damn water, because I've just been drying up over here. I said, man, I gotta get some water. So, Red Solo.
Hydrate.
I'm telling you, man. So first, before we go to the story, the Kanye West story, first of all, shout out to our new subscribers and new likes. Like to shout out to new followers on Twitch. Three of yes. Thank you so very, very much. Thank you for enjoying the show. We encourage you to share the show, tell people about the show, tell people to watch the show. And also people that liked us on Facebook, and also the many people that have been with us for the longest time. Thank you so very, 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 very much. Thank you. We should be thanking y'all every day for supporting the show and liking the show. Now I can't stand Kanye West. I could care less because of his comments about slavery was a choice, and then people tried to vouch for him while he was talking about slavery in the mind. That he should just say we slaves in the mind, but he didn't came off like that. And so then I just say fuck Kanye West. So a lot of I won't say controversy, but there's a lot of people like Soulja Boy been coming out. What's his name? Jazzy Jazzy Fizzle. I think I said that right.
Jazzy Faye? Yeah, man.
Jazzy Fizzle. Yeah, cool. Has came out and said that they had verses on a couple of Kanye West's songs, and apparently they've been secretly taken off and taken away without them knowing. So a lot of artists has been coming out bashing him for that. So my question is this, Beast, for you being in the game, what is your take on it?
Number one, get your ass off your shoulders. Drop your fucking nuts, America. And wipe the fucking tears and snot off your face. Get your G back. You're whining over something fucking stupid. To the artist, I ask you a simple question. Were you paid? If you were paid, so the fuck what? Shit happens. Now to the to the uninformed, when it comes to making your album, whatever theme or concept that you're going for, there's a certain ebb and flow, a certain vibe, if you will, that has to resonate from the songs and from the song placements. When you're doing music, how you initially write it never really turns out the same as the end product because other factors come in. Engineers come in and add little accents and mimicries in there. You might switch a verse out. You might cut a line here or there. You might add somebody. I understand how some artists may feel because I myself have been in that situation where I've done verses for people just to have their verse taken off. Yeah, and I felt some kind of way about it because I wasn't paid for it. I did that for the free stuff. So I feel like you wasted my fucking time. So yeah, I was mad. If I got paid for it, I will. He won't be a bitch about it. Fuck him. I still got paid for it. Since he ain't used the verse, I'm gonna use it somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. So going off of what Jazzy said, this is his post on Instagram. This is what it says. Hopefully y'all can see that.
No, that was just to get you some. That's Jazzy Faye, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when you talk about New York, Love and Hip Hop New York, and you said has-beens, Jazzy was slightly fall under that on the social scheme because nobody's heard his name or saw his face in any videos. And Minnie and Moon. And if he did one of your beats or did one of your songs, oh, he was definitely in the damn video, whether he wrote it or not.
Yeah.
So
he put a lot of
Public Guy says you ain't really doing a whole lot. Says you don't probably fell back into just straight production or some other shit. Because if you were still doing your industry production, we would have saw you in a video or two throughout the years. So in his mind frame, he was thinking this is like his social comeback. Now, a way to get his name back out there. You know, drop a verse, drop his verse with Kanye. He's one of the most iconic names out there right now. You think you about to get you a little resurgence like Dream. Yeah, I can understand why you might feel some kind of way. I just ask again, were you paid, sir? Were you monetarily and financially compensated for your efforts and your time? If so,
what it is. Basically. So you more concerned about the money aspect of it, and that even if they didn't get paid, that's when you should put your foot down and be like, yo, where's my money? Because ladies and gentlemen, go ahead.
That's the respect of, because like I said, when it comes to dropping music, shit happens. I could write a verse, somebody else could write a verse, and they like their verse better, or their verse just happens to fit better with the flow of the song.
Right.
So they take my verse off. Okay. Or vice versa. Okay. Like that shit happens. Like if the song is good up until your contribution and it kind of throws off your contribution is still good, it just does not balance out this musical equation that he has before him. It's good on this side, but it doesn't balance out on the other side.
Yeah.
So now we got to take you out, rearrange this, drop, like I said, shit happens. For the chemical equation that Kanye saw with his head, CHO4 plus SO5 HSF6 yields, whatever the shit that he sees in his head, that requires him to take a little number here, move this here. That may require that. If this nigga is off, if this nigga is so concerned about his music to the point that where he will waste money to rent out an entire stadium, why is anyone surprised if he decides to just say, take that person off? Or I'm not going, or I'm going to do this song. And then another thing too, marketing for the album. I take the baby's verse off, but I got this remix beat that I'm working on. I'm gonna throw the baby's verse that's supposed to go on this one. I'm gonna throw it on there. Bam, he get an extra check. Sometimes that shit happens. Where you say, hey, I'm gonna only release it with just me and Jay, but I'm gonna drop a remix on it that's got the baby on it. Got everybody hype again. Fucking marketing is like mind fucking people. Like,
I'm gonna pull on the black hat because you've been wearing the black hat for so long, Beast. I was always supposed to be a devil's advocate on this show, but you've been taking it over and been wearing it like a glove. So give me that black hat. Let's put on the black hat. So, so going on the money factor, I believe from Soulja Boy and Jazzy Faye, from their angle, I believe it's more of a respect thing. You know,
no, right.
You know,
they can call it respect,
mm-hmm.
but if it was respect, that was something that would have been addressed directly, and it would have only come to the public's eye after several attempts or several months of time has passed, and you've tried to clear the air with this grievance you had. If that was the case, if you felt disrespected by that before you to take it out there on the social media scheme, you want people to talk about it. You want people to put their 2 cents in it. You want people to know something that they probably didn't know. And because they was already like, okay, well, yeah, he took the baby off. And I could kind of understand, baby still got all that shit going on with him in his damn records now. So I kind of understand that. But it's like, but he cut me off his album too. Who? Me. Who that? Jazzy Fizzle. You was on the album? Yeah, man. I was on the album too. Cut my verse off. Ain't say shit to me neither. And that Soulja Boy. Yeah. Shit, me too, nigga. I did the beat for him and everything.
And that's the part right there. So it's like, you know, I'm gonna use Network for example. If you agreed upon, let's say we agreed upon McCary because he's watching right now. Keith. You know, we talked about putting Keith's show on, you know, like, hey, he got this sports show. We're going to put it on. We talked with him, and he's like, yeah, I said you're a good fit. And you said, yeah, he's a good fit. And then the next minute, you made the executive decision like, man, can't pull him on. And don't even tell me. you have to understand that I would be pissed off because if you had second thoughts, it's something that we should have talked about. You know, give me a call, give me a heads up, like, yo.
From like I said, from that aspect, hell yeah. That's why I asked the question of
did you get paid?
Did you get paid? Because if you got paid, ain't no real reason for you to then harp over. Because I use for example, Young Fletcher. And if you don't know who Young Fletcher is a local cat by my way who happened to do a feature with Yo Gotti. No, it was the other way around. Yo Gotti was doing the feature with him. And he sent the song, excuse me. Yo Gotti did his verse, took Fletcher off of it, put somebody else on it, and pretty much stole this nigga's song and released it as his own. Yeah. Now, as a result of that, Gotti had to go bankrupt because the way he was going about it was not business minded, wasn't respectful at all. So he ended up really having to come out his pocket because he didn't pay that man. Since he didn't pay that man, the judge made him pay that man and made him pay that man more than he had. Made him pay 6.5, the nigga only had 6.
Oh snap! Damn, Gotti. And Gotti got his own label, correct?
Mm-hmm. He initially hit him with 3, but Gotti kept pulling some simple-minded bullshit, so he doubled it.
Damn, 6 stacks.
So you talking? Yes, that's why I asked the question. We talking about respect and compensation. If that's not established, then yes, they have every right. And I mean, from a literal to a litigious right to harp and a grievance. But if it's just some notoriety shit, then man, just take that on chest. Take that on 10, my nigga. That shit happen.
Yeah, and then also Jazzy Faye, I don't think he's lost for work. He probably still make beats or anything in Atlanta. You definitely with all the stars that they got down there, I know he's not hurting money. So, but for me, just hearing that, just bring it full circle for me, is that knowing Jazzy Faye, he's a Grammy nominated. I believe he won some Grammys, some awards. Soulja Boy, I don't think he won any damn award, but he's the one that started the digital age for hip hop. Gotta give him his props.
Yeah.
Now you gotta give him his props. I mean, even though he did on some shady mess, because everybody remember when they had LimeWire and you thought you was downloading the song that you like, but it was Soulja Boy song. But
yeah, he was notorious for that bullshit.
Yeah, and so my point is, I mean, since it came full circle to me, knowing the prestige of these gentlemen, or anybody else that we didn't mention that's having the same issues, I know for a fact they didn't go into that studio because when we talk about verse, ladies and gentlemen, and Beast can agree with me on this, this is not a day's work. A simple verse could take weeks, maybe even a month, depending on what the song is and depending on the artist.
Depending on the time frame and
that too.
Availability of that, because I got songs I've written that took me years to write just because I got to a point and got trailed off, and technically the song took me 5 years or more to write. Hell, I got some songs I wrote 15 years ago I ain't still fucking finished.
So it takes forever, and then not only how long it going to take in the time frame, then you got to understand, okay, do I have the right engineers? Did you got to get the beats, all that stuff down pat? Then you got to work with the artists. Definitely, if you got artists, because it's a double-edged sword, and Beast, you can come in anytime. This is for me, from outside looking in. You got, depending on the artist, you got an artist that's green, meaning that they're new. You know, they're new to the game and they, not used to being around all this, rather than just being around their crew and they just spit a beat. Now there's levels to this thing because now you are in the industry now. You got an artist that's real green or aka a rookie, and then you got those artists that been in the game for a hot minute. The ones that wanted their own certain way.
I will agree yet disagree because it's kind of a little bit of both. It's one part that facet of it, your level of expertise and experience, but then it's also your conduct and your acclimate there. Like writing a song, you can write a song in 30 minutes or write a verse in 30 minutes. I've seen people go in there and write verses in 30 minutes and take over 3 hours to record. At 16 bars. At most, that's a minute. Depending on the BPMs of the beat, you're going anywhere from an average of 35 seconds to maybe a minute and a half, minute 10 for a 16-bar verse. It takes you 3 hours to record it. Because some folk don't understand, because it's a whole nother thing and faster when going into the studio. Because now, how it sounded in your head, you got to make it come out your mouth.
Yeah.
Or at least get close enough to where the engineer can find the right button or the right program to tweak it to that level.
But also does the arrogance come into play too? Because that's the point that I was going to get at too.
Yeah.
Because you could be like, look, I'm trying to make this sound right, or you just do just a little adjustment on it, and that diva, and I'm not mainly talking to women because dudes can be divas too, can come out and just be like, no, that's not how I want it. And you're like, no, and make it sound better. But then for the artist defense, you do got those composers, if you call them composers, that try to tweak it when it's already sounding good. Like, man, why you messing it up? Well, you just take this out right here and put this one in. No, that's not going to sound right. So, but usually when you got so many people bumping heads, that a classic is about to happen. You go back to like the Ray Charles of the day.
Either a classic or a clusterfuck.
Right. I mean, you can go back.
Either way, it's going to be one hell of a story.
Right. James Brown. If anybody saw Bohemian Rhapsody, I saw Bohemian. I can't say it, but you know what I'm talking about.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yes, I can't even say it right. Goddamn, my country bucket is coming out. If you see how Queen was, definitely with Freddie Mercury, he was a full-blown diva. And how he combated with everybody in the band, and they still produce hits. Look at the Temptations. Look at the Five Heartbeats.
These niggas hated each other.
They talk
about Temptations. These niggas hated each other.
But guess what? When they all came together and sung that song,
they was damn sure at their practice hall.
Share one mic. Just doing the thing. Luther Vandross.
I said, got it.
And people don't understand, even Luther Vandross, one of the greats.
Big ass diva. Big ass fucking diva.
Big ass fucking diva. Him and Aretha Franklin almost got into it. Aretha was like, and speaking of Aretha before a show, she would tell the freaking people that was running the arena, what? First of all, let's get to the promoter first. She said, "Give me my money." She said, "Give me my money first, or I won't perform." Because y'all know after a set is done, you get your money.
I don't trust you right now.
And Aretha Franklin, I knew Aretha Franklin was that G, so she would make the promoters pay her up front because she don't want no monkey business. If it's $10,000 for me to do this set and
Look,
for this song, give me my $10,000 now. I want to see those unhappy presidents in my hand. And I believe she had one of her cousins hold the money, and not only hold the money, she had a gun too, just in case anything goes down. Ladies and gentlemen, Aretha Franklin was a G, and so here Aretha Franklin, and then she would tell the people that's running the arena to have the air. I think she said she wanted the air conditioner up at a certain temperature. She will make them do that. But then again, when you're the queen of soul, you can do whatever you want. Mariah Carey, even Michael Jackson. Yes. Yeah. Even Michael Jackson and Quincy Jones bumped heads. Y'all remember when, a couple of years ago, I think Quincy went on this crazy ass rant, and Michael Jackson was in on it. He said I think he said, I'm paraphrasing, I could be wrong, but he did say something about Michael Jackson being hard to work with, where he also said that Marvin Gaye was getting smashed from behind from another actor. I forgot his freaking name. And I was like, whoa, like, Quincy, what are you smoking, sir? Or who really made you mad? And even though he tried to recant those comments, because I guess somebody
you can't recant stuff like that.
Yeah, you cannot. But he said what he said. He tried to apologize, but it came out because it had everybody wondering, like, dang, I think they was worrying more about the Marvin Gaye part than the Michael Jackson part, because he said Michael Jackson's hard to work, hard to work with. You can kind of understand that.
But in Michael's defense, when you have literally had music beaten into you and success beaten into you, and now you have a moment of clarity and freedom and money to actually say, bitch, I want it my way.
Yeah.
You, ask anybody if they wouldn't lose their minds from shit like that. If you woke up right now, if you checked your account right now and you had the same amount as Bill Gates, and then called to verify and it told you, you now have $1 billion. How many of y'all would lose your fucking mind? I tell you, show no. After I literally do like David and dance out my clothes and shout butt naked up through my neighborhood, and I'm talking about church shout, shoulders, hips, and legs. That's all. No. Is he on drugs? I'm like, no, that nigga speaking in tongues. He praising God. I think he on drugs. Nah, that's tongues. I've been to church. That nigga speaking tongues. He definitely with the holiness. Just hear random neighbors. Praise him, baby. Praise him. Somebody go cover him up.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. So
you can't be surprised at stuff like that. When hearing that, that was surprising. The Marvin Gaye thing. Oh, maybe one higher.
I know. Man, not even allowed to defend himself, because I guarantee you Marvin Gaye was still alive today. I guarantee he would be like, what that motherfucker said? What you say? Man. Marvin Gaye looked like the type that he... Marvin Gaye was that... He looked like that type that will go up to your freaking house and be like, yo, what you say about me?
Marvin Gaye slapped around Tammy Terrell. B, Marvin Gaye tried to fight his daddy as a grown man. He got fucked. That's what took Marvin Gaye out. He was fucked up in the game. Was like, know what, daddy? No one goddamn it, daddy, I'm tired of your shit. Well, fuck you up today, old man. I've been waiting for this shit.
And his dad
didn't go his way.
Yeah, true. But yeah, man, I was like I bring up that point, ladies and gentlemen, because that's the work that goes in to just a song. We just talk about song, making an album,
just getting a song recorded to the point where you could hear it.
Right.
It still got to go to more for your ass to even hear it. Now you got to add distribution and promotions and circulations. And yeah, it's a whole lot just to hear one song.
And that's why I respect people like Drake that stays in the lab and just work, even though, hey, this album out, but we already working, we already got this album done. Now we're working on this album. I'm like, damn, dude, take a break,
No.
which he does.
Well, no, he does exactly what I said earlier. Mm-hmm. That's what the smart ones. It's a kind of a Tupac mentality. The more tracks that you do and that have or verses that you have recorded and available to mix down and mash up however you see fit, the more song choices and songs that you can add to your catalog. That's why we went like almost 20 years after this man's death, and we still hear fucking new verses from Tupac.
Yeah,
it's that new Tupac and Redman, and you listen to it like, hold on, I ain't never heard this Tupac verse.
Right, you be like, he been gone for how long?
When the fuck this nigga write this shit?
Crazy, huh? And also Notorious B.I.G. and then Notorious. Yeah. Same with him.
But Drake is one of those folks that he's gonna do a lot of songs. He's gonna do a lot of feature work with whoever is notable and hot right then and there, and he uses those to keep his name out there while he actually builds his work. Right. And he can take a year or two at a time to drop an album of just him, and then sprinkle it with whoever's truly hot at that moment. But in the meanwhile, in between, he's dropping features with this person, or he's on this person's remix, or doing a song with this person. Just keep his name out there.
So, what's your final take on? So sorry.
No.
Your final take on Kanye West.
Yeah. Understand this, people. And if you don't believe me, I want you to go to MP3 Juices. That's MP3 Juices.cc. Yes, sir.
Yes.
But this is a new age, old school downloadable site like LimeWire that connects to YouTube and all other sites. But basically, just go in there and just type in random features. Or if you know of an artist, feature song like Drake and Lil Wayne, just type them two in and see how many feature songs come in with just them two or a combination of them two and somebody else. And you'll run across a couple songs that you never heard. For every one album feature that you hear on someone's song or album, understand that there's upwards of 4 other songs that they recorded during that time. I use, for example, Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson has a song with Stevie Wonder. Now, when you hear it, it sounds like Michael Jackson song that had Stevie Wonder on. As I went to go download it, I found some other songs. I listened to all of them, and I could tell all these songs were recorded in the same time span. These niggas linked up over a weekend and just jammed the fuck out, and these are some of the songs they came up with. Because you could hear it in every song, like they damn near sound the same, but you can tell that they were all similar. Just one is more in Mike's lane, the other one was more in Stevie's lane. But the one that was Stevie's song, that's not a song that's on any of his albums. He didn't have that on his album. But it's a song that was recorded nonetheless. And it probably got put out some other time under like a best of random remix.
Yeah.
So just remember that just because they're not on the Donda album right now, doesn't mean that isn't recorded material that's not out, that's not ready to be distributed to the masses. Just because he took the baby off this song, don't mean he ain't got 2 more songs with the baby.
I'm happy to have somebody that is in the game to explain that to y'all more thoroughly, even though I could care less about Kanye West. But I was fair. Beach was not fair to Kanye. I was fair.
Yeah, you was fair. You was fair. I mean, I'm on your level of non-giving a fuck just for the simple fact, like, why y'all whining about it?
Yeah.
Like, y'all really just be looking for shit to complain about so people can hear your voice.
Yeah, and I'm fair to that point too as well, because even if I don't like somebody, but they being treated wrong, I keep that same energy. It could be with somebody yeah, because it be with people that I like. I need to get to our turn. My favorite is Black. Oh, okay.
Black Violin. Check that out.
I get ready to say, I knew you were gonna get intrigued with that. This is my bell boy from a long time ago. What's up, Zars? But yeah, man. Just gotta keep that same energy. It could be somebody that I like, and they done wrong. Obviously, I'm gonna defend them. Even when somebody I extremely don't like and they have the same thing happen to them, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be like, yo, this is wrong. They're wrong. Let's get it right and all that stuff. But other than that, we got a community that we gotta go to. Beach, what you got on tap for us, man?
Well, we're gonna continue talking about. This. Talk about the presence. Right. Talk about all this and how it fits into the community.
All right, cool. All right, so everybody trying to get on this F-150, it's time to head to the community. And I'm not just talking about any community. I'm talking about Beast community. Come on, man.
Since we're talking about folk getting in uproar over things that they really don't take the time to analyze, you see a lot of this in your communities, amongst your nosy neighbors, and that church gossip. Stuff that really means nothing and might have deeper implications upon it that you know nothing about. But because you saw something that didn't sit right with you, you feel as though it's something bigger and feel as though you need to speak on. It's one thing to question a curiosity and proclaim that it just doesn't look right to me. I was wondering if I'm the only one. That's how you bring things to attention that you're not really sure about. You're like, well, that just don't sit well. Just ask. Don't just say, well, I saw this and I feel some. That don't make no sense. All you're doing is bringing yourself into attention, but not in a very good light. That's the same thing when you go to church and after church, the old folk get to talking. You get to run them out about what they saw. Well, Sister Charlene didn't sing the lead to her song today. I saw that. They let that girl Letitia sing. She good, but she ain't Charlene. That's Charlene's song. Not even knowing that Charlene might have developed an issue with her voice and was unable to sing it to the best of her abilities. Or maybe Charlene was saying, I feel as though you could do a better job than me, Tisha. I want you to take this song over. None of y'all was privy to that information, to that conversation. You just want to assume some shit because it didn't look right to you. Instead of asking, well, hey, Sister Charlene, I know she ain't sing your song last Sunday. Is everything? Your voice was good? When we hear that song, we expect to see you up there. Then you would have found out, she'd have told you. Then your assumptions wouldn't have made you look like an ass. Shit happens. But you can't, and even with an attentive and observant eye, you'll still catch things in the wrong light. You can't see everything at every moment. We are not God. We are not omnipresent, and we are not omniscient. So we need to embrace that, acknowledge that, and respectfully question things. that come to our attention, so as to keep everything pleasant and calm within the community. Because when you start assuming, then you start putting people in defensive mentalities, then you also start having people look at you in a very paranoid, askewed view. You don't want that. Now the same folk that you talking about you. And now you noticing that the same folk you was talking to folk about, they with the folk you talking about. And guess who they talking about? Once again, you assume and do not ask, you make an ass out of yourself. And you wanted the community to talk about something, now they got something to talk about. The ass you made assuming some shit. How you want to start talking that mess throughout the church. Now everybody looking at you sideways when you walk into church next Sunday. Or folk are less receptive to your colloquial greetings when they see you in your community. You can't be out here assuming things or getting mad just because you felt as though it was supposed to go this way. Take the moment to look at everything, and then take the moment to accept that there's some extra shit you don't know about. And you're more than welcome to question it in conversation, but never assume that your particular opinions or views are just or valid because you weren't there. You don't know what happened. You're not God. So your thoughts on most matters and most concerns in this world don't mean shit. And that goes for everybody that's watching, everybody out here in social media, all you influencers. Nothing you say or think about means shit. If it does not pertain to your personal, firsthand, direct experience life, or even personal, firsthand, second-hand experience, people within your world that you experience and visually see, your thought don't mean shit. You're not God. You weren't there to see what was going on. You weren't privy to that information. So don't go sit here assuming just because you feel some kind of way that what you feel is right, and other folk need to feel the way you do. Or when you find folk to feel the way you do, y'all need to round up and make sure everybody know how y'all feel. No. Let your ass was right then and there and know exactly what God said at all times. Your point don't mean shit. Keep it to yourself. But you're more than welcome to ask and question. Just don't form no opinion. And I'm gonna cut this little brief. Glad y'all came by the community. Felt like this information needed to get said in the manner that y'all need to understand. And I hope you did understand it. Hope you weren't offended. But I hope you was educated and enlightened. Feel free to come on back anytime. Shouts out the game. I yield the floor.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Beast for y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and deliver my final thought. I'm gonna let him go ahead and take a little break. So first of all, let me get everything right. Let me do the intro to the final thought. My final thought, first of all, shouts out to Cheddar Boy Popcorn for sponsoring the show, and as well as Guys on Society for sponsoring Beast Community segment. My thought is this. I think me and Beast need to do like a little gimmick pay-per-view because it seems like that's the thing to do nowadays. You know, we need to put something together that is going to make us a lot of moolah. You know, and I think Beast would be down for it, something to help out the Wet Network and something to put some cheddar in our pockets, as well as people that is doing it. So, Jake Paul and Logan Paul are not the only ones that's doing this hustle. There's a lot of social media influencers that are doing this. They're putting their money where their mouth is, promoting not only just boxing, but even events like Firefest. Y'all remember what happened with that. They are investing in these type of events, thinking that they're going to get a big payday. Obviously, it's working for the Pauls, but it's not working for other social media folks that are trying to get into the boxing game or trying to do something similar or close to that. Which made me think of this. Why don't y'all put the money where it matters? Why don't you put it in the communities that need it? We got a pandemic that's going on right now. Why don't you put it in communities to, helping out like homeless people to wear masks or give them some place or a shelter to live in? Help out kids to get books for schools, or helping out teachers, helping them out to getting supplies in the freaking classrooms, or help out with them to get a livable wage, or help out businesses that's been struggling through this pandemic. Give that. I'm not saying give them a loan, but I'm not telling them to give them your whole paycheck. But I mean, like, give them money so they can stay afloat and that they can get better. Or you can bring your own businesses up in there. Roads that haven't been fixed in a while. You can get hire a freaking construction crew or a crew that is known for fixing asphalt or concrete. Because the city and the state probably don't have enough money. But you got the money to do that, to help out. Invest into your community. Invest in somebody that is in these bad, impoverished areas to live on their dreams or to create jobs, great job, not just a job, but a great job to where the families can pass it on, or jobs where they can just use it as a stepping stone for them to start their own businesses. It's endless what you can do. If you really want to be the true definition of an influencer, of the social influencers, it's that. It's to invest into your communities, invest back into it. If you don't like how the government is running your community, you can go up in there and you can change all that. Fix your community. Invest into your community. Invest into your people. If the Paul brothers, rather than invest into boxing, invested in their neighborhood, imagine how much respect they would get, how much gratitude they would get. Like, people bash Mayweather, but people don't know Mayweather give back. He give back to the homeless in freaking in Las Vegas. He definitely give back to his people back in Detroit. But nobody don't want to hear that. Pacquiao give back to his country. He give back to his country. That's why the Filipino community loves him. But Mayweather does the same thing too. So if all these influencers actually use their money for good, and not only just get brownie points with the world, but invest in the community that they was born and raised in. Because I know a lot of these influencers comes from very impoverished areas. Imagine what they could do if they invested just $10 million in their community, and how much it would do. So that's a little food for thought for all y'all social media influencers out there. If you really want to have an impact on the world, help out your community. Invest into your community. And I promise you will not regret it. And with that, I yield the floor. Beast, you got any final thoughts?
Yes, I was going to double down on what you had to say. For the content creators that aren't as well known or feel as established. I don't feel like that's a good fit for them. I would say to you, understand your brand. Understand what it is that you're doing that people actually are receptive to and respond to positively, and then build from there. You're a gamer, you do first person, you're one of them Fortnite kids, cool. Hey, you want to get out there? Link up with the cosplayers. Find you some cosplayers that actually play Fortnite too. Y'all link up. Y'all do some damn real life paintball Fortnite shit. Do it for charity. Everybody live streaming. You think motherfuckers wouldn't get behind some shit like that? And I'm just riffing off the top of my head. The point is, whatever it is that you're bringing to the table, there's ways for you to link up with other people and make one hell of an interesting combination. Look at it in the sense of Thanksgiving or Christmas. That's when you really get a spread of food. Outside of the holidays, when have you ever thought of putting candy yams and macaroni and cheese together and making sure that the juices connect and getting you a bite of it? Oh my God. Never have I known that these two things would go together so well. Think about it. Understand your brand. You'd be surprised the shit you can pull up nowadays. See what these two little dipshits pulled off their ass being branding themselves as bad boys. I mean, bad boys need to know how to take a punch. Damn sure better know how to throw one. That's all they're doing. What's your brand? Not your default.
And ladies and gentlemen, that would do it for us for another edition of Hashtag Fade to Black. Up next is Base and Bake. And a little bit later, I will be doing the Alabante show. I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to do it on Hemps or I'm going to be doing it on Instagram. But other than that, as for my dog, my bruh, Peach Johnson, and for me, your great host, Lamonte Morris, thank y'all for tuning in. And also, Teach said hello, hi. She's still alive. She's still kicking. She's enjoying herself. She's still living her best life. She kind of got on me about not showing the video of her eating the chicken leg. So I promised next show. Right.
No.
Yeah, and I told her I was
that's bragging. This is bragging, man.
She came on the Alabante show on my side hustle.
Excuse me.
I got you. She came on my show when I was doing my live show for my side hustle, and she's like, why you didn't show that video? I said, what video? You ain't show that video when I was eating that chicken leg. I'm like, geez, you kind of being jealous, you know, because those chicken legs chicken feet you was eating, it was pretty damn good. It looked good. I mean, you sit there eating it, so we just
look like they were seasoned right too. It looked like they were seasoned cooked right too, boy. I was chewing on them things like a chew stick.
I'm saying, right? And so I said, but okay, we will show you the video because I thought, you know, since she shared it with us in the message room privately, you know, I wasn't going to show it out there either. But, you know, I was feeling some type of way, like he was feeling some type of way. But other than that, Teacher's living her best life. Mayo is also living his best life right now. You know, the money never sleeps. He's down there in Nigeria right now working on some business deals. Hopefully he reach out to us and he, you know, say what's up to us.
Hopefully he don't come back with a Nigerian wife.
Yeah,
and three Nigerian upstarts.
And once he come back, hopefully he could be the front and center for one-on-one Wednesday, where we give some business advice and to help people to grow their brands, to even know their brands as well. And also for Sleepaway also living his best life in Guinea-Bissau. He posted up a video which we will be showing also on Wednesday. He's doing okay, doing fine. Even though Olympics denied him to compete, he's still a gold medalist in our hearts. He's still the top athlete, and he helped revolutionize Guinea Bissau, even with him not going to the Olympics.
The
I
way
said
this
thank
show
you.
going right now, look,
Thank you for
bro, the
making
way
me
this show going right now, I'm waiting on you and me, because everybody on this show so far, with the exception of Professor O, but he from there, has migrated themselves over to Africa. You currently got 3 panelists over there, so I'm just waiting on that random call or random email you and me gonna get leads us. Like, I wonder where the hell am I gonna end up at?
Yeah,
Like,
that's freaking crazy.
What the fuck they gonna send? What the fuck they probably gonna send my ass to Sierra Leone. And
Don't worry.
And knowing me, my dumb ass gonna be outside dancing to Kanye's "Diamonds Are Forever."
And look, and my ass, I probably would get orders. Boys, you go be deployed to Egypt. Oh, really? So
I'm
yeah,
like,
I'm just
nigga.
waiting on it. Like,
Hey, steal something from one of them pyramids for me.
right. Or get one of those freaking gold bars, boy. But other than that, we gotta head on out before we get ourselves in trouble. But other than that, we be back on Wednesday. But up next is Base and Bake with your boy Beast Johnson. Then me, I'll be doing the show a little later with the Alamonte show. We will see y'all on Wednesday. Catch y'all later. And remember, we control the narrative. We outro. Y'all have a good one. See y'all on Wednesday. Base and Bake is up next. Bye-bye, y'all.